Your teacher has shared a blank Google Sheet with you. You're going to use a Google Sheet to fill in the data that you collect while doing an online radioactive decay lab. So you'll need to set up your Google Sheet similar to what I have here. So in A1 you have years gone by, B1 you have element A, B2 you have parent, and C2 you have daughter. Then in A3 you have 0, and you're going to number all the way down to 20,000. So go from 0 to 20,000. You'll notice I've also formatted my columns by centering them, and I've put borders around them. We did this in a previous activity, so hopefully you remember how to do that. So go ahead and pause it here and make your Google Sheet look like mine. Now, if you look at heading element A here, it looks like element A only has parents, but we know from what we learned beginning of the year that the parents decay into daughters for the radioactive elements. So what we need to do is we need to highlight the two cells here, and there's a couple ways you can do this. You can go up and hit the merge tool that looks like similar to this, but if your screen doesn't have a merge tool, you can go up to Format, Merge Cells, and then merge horizontally. Okay. So go ahead and pause the video and do that. Okay, you're going to do this a lab for 4 different elements: element A, B, C, and D. Right now we're just setting up the Google Sheet for element A. Each radioactive element is going to start with 100 atoms. So we're going to type in 100 because we'll have 100 parents at time 0, and we'll have 0 daughters at time 0. Now you'll notice that I have highlighted my text, or created my text, in blue and in red. So go ahead and pause the video and change your text in the parent column to blue and the daughter column to red. All right, so your online lab will actually count all of the parents for you. So you'll just have to click on a little icon and it'll count them for you, and you just have to enter the data here. So let's say after 1,000 years, I now have 80 parents left. It doesn't tell me the number of daughters, but I can find out the number of daughters in a couple of different ways. The first one, there is a button I can click on that removes all of the radioactive or the non-radioactive elements, and I can count the ones that have disappeared. I can do some math. I can subtract 80 from 100, and so I know there has to be 20 daughters, because matter cannot be created or destroyed, just change forms. Now I can do that. Let's say in my next 1,000 years I have 67. Well, the math gets a little harder, so I may have to get out my calculator, but hopefully not. But it's still very time consuming. So we can actually have Google Sheets do this for us. So if I go back in and I create a formula, and I'm creating a formula in C3 because I know I started with 100 parents, so my daughters are going to be 100 minus whatever I type in cell B, in column B. In this case, it's B3. Okay, so it automatically gives me a 0. Now I could do that, and I could type in this one. I could type in the same formula. So I'm taking 100 minus 80, and it'll calculate that there's 20 daughter atoms for me. And I could do that all the way down, and then I could do it for element A, B, C, and D. Or I could go back to my cell with my formula in it, and I have this blue little blue square here, and a handle comes up, and I can take that and I can drag it all the way down to my 20,000, and it automatically does my math for me. So let's say at 3,000 years that have gone by, I only have 23 parents left, and it calculates the number of daughters for me. And let's say I have 12, and then I have 0. Okay, and then I want to go in and delete these. Okay? Because I only want the data represented for the time that's gone by. So go ahead and put your formula in your cell and then drag it down and copy it so yours looks like mine. Now you'll want to go in and delete all this data because you'll put in your own data from the experiment. But you're going to start with 100 parents and 0 daughters each time. So now I can do the same thing and I can type it in for element B, element C, and element D, or I can go in here and I can click on this little drop down bar and I can hit duplicate. And you notice I've already done this for element B. And then this says copy of element A, and I can click on it and I can change the title. And I want to change the title here because I've already done B. I want to do element C now. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to change this title to element C. Now I have the exact same sheet for A, B, and C, and I've just copied it. Okay? So go ahead and pause this and set up all of your tabs for elements A, B, C, and D. And once you do that, then you can click on the link to go